had to start day trading from absolute zero in 2026, no account, no strategy, no connections, literally nothing, and my only goal was to get to six figures as fast as humanly possible, well then this is the exact 5-step plan that I would follow. And I'm not just saying this as someone who's just making a theory, right? I've been day trading for over 7 years, and I personally make anywhere from 20K to 40K every single month using this exact system. I've helped hundreds of students go from completely lost to consistently profitable. One of my students, Ernesto, is now getting funded with over $1 million, and George pulls over $8,000 every single week and works about 2 hours a day. These are things that actually work. But here's the thing that most people get wrong about trading. They think that the path to making money is just learning more strategies or stacking more indicators, watching more YouTube videos, and just grinding it out until something clicks. And that's what most people believe, but it's completely wrong. The traders who actually make it, they do way less. They simplify literally everything, and they follow a system, and they focus on the 5 things that I'm actually about to walk you through. So in this video, I'm gonna give you the exact roadmap to follow step by step, and I'm not just gonna tell you what to do, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can actually do it. And by the end of this video, you're gonna have a clearer plan than 90% of traders. So let's get into it. The first thing that I do is not open a brokerage account and just dump my life savings into it, right? I did that when I was 18, and I literally lost all of the money that I had put into that account. Instead, I jumped straight into prop firms. And if you don't know what a prop firm is, let me break it down for you really quickly. A prop firm is a company that essentially gives you their money to trade. So you pass a challenge, basically a test that proves that you are able to follow the rules and be profitable on a simulated account, and then they fund you. So they're actually giving you upwards of $50,000, $100,000, or even $300,000 to actually trade with. So think of it like this, right? Imagine you wanted to start a restaurant, but instead of taking out a $500,000 loan and risking everything, someone says, hey, prove to me that you can cook for 2 weeks and I'll give you the entire kitchen for free. That's essentially what prop firms do for traders. Now, here's exactly how you'd actually get started with prop firms, right? The prop firm that I use and recommend most is going to be Take Profit Trader. Here's why. So they have daily payouts, which most platforms aren't going to offer at this point. They have, in my opinion, they have an extremely easy to understand platform, and they don't have any activation fees. And you literally keep 80% of everything that you make on these accounts. These challenge accounts that you're buying, they only cost $100 to actually get. So compare that to needing like $25,000 of your own money in a brokerage account. If you fail a challenge, you lose only $100. But if you blow up a personal account, that pain is completely different. So if I wanted to get to 6 figures as quickly as I could as a trader, the account that I'd start with is the $50,000 evaluation. It's, in my opinion, it's the cheapest all-in cost that you can have, and it's the best ratio of leverage to drawdown. And of course, it's the easiest to pass. I've seen students pass these in literally 5 days and be able to trade with actual capital that is given to them by the prop firm by day 5. So that's the route that I would take. So once you're funded, the realistic income that I would expect from a single 50K funded account is anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And as long as you are able to build that buffer, meaning the more cushion that you have above your starting balance, you can start sizing up and making significantly more. One of my students, Ernesto, for example, started with literally nothing, no capital, no funded accounts. He went through this exact path, and now he's managing over $1 million across funded accounts. So step 1, I would get a funded account, go to Take Profit Trader. I would grab a $50,000 evaluation for literally $100, and I would start there. I'll drop a link in the description for you. Honestly, I wouldn't risk your own money until you've actually proven that you can trade profitably with someone else's. Now, prop firms are the vehicle, but the vehicle is useless if you don't have an engine. And the engine is what I'm about to tell you. And honestly, this is one thing that most people get completely backwards. This is probably the most important thing I'll say in this entire video, so please pay attention. If I'm starting over as a trader, I am trading one trading strategy. Not 3, not 5. I'm not trading a couple of different strategies for different market conditions, right? I'm gonna trade one simple strategy. Here's the reason why. When you have multiple strategies, you have to have multiple decision points, right? So every morning you're sitting there going, which one am I gonna use today? Is this a breakout day or is this a reversal day? Should I scalp? Should I swing trade this? Should I hold this longer? And what happens is you end up freezing, or even worse, you end up picking the wrong one, you lose money, and then you switch to the other one right after that, and that one stops working too, so then you just end up in a loop. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, okay, Sean, cool, one strategy, but how do I actually choose one? You have to pick a strategy that trades with the trend, not against it. Honestly, for me, it's not a negotiable thing. Like, it has to be with the trend because the trend is your friend. I know it sounds cliche. You probably hear every single trader say it, but honestly, the reason why people say it so much is because it's true. Because reversal trading, like, it looks real sexy on social media, but it's one of the fastest ways to blow up as a beginner. Because if you try to just trade reversals over and over again, you're gonna end up literally attempting the same move over and over, and you will blow yourself up so much quicker than if you just traded with the trend. You want a strategy where you're actually identifying which direction the market's already moving, and then you want to just ride that wave. Cool. So second thing is you need to pick a strategy that is actually price action based, right? It's not going to be indicator based because everybody jumps straight to indicators when they're first starting. Some people might be upset by this, but honestly, most indicators are completely useless in my mind. RSI, MACD, Bollinger Bands, like, these are all lagging indicators, right? They tell you what already has happened, not what's about to happen. And that's the reason why I only trade with 2 indicators on my chart at all times. It's going to be VWAP and the 9 EMA. And if I'm being 100% honest, I could trade completely without them. But honestly, having them on my chart, they're just supporting evidence for a trade idea that I've already identified through price action. So choose a price action strategy first. If you're a beginner and your chart looks like a box of crayons, you have indicators everywhere, you're most likely overcomplicating it. If you need help with picking that price action strategy, I'm gonna leave a video at the end for you so that you can watch my entire price action strategy from start to finish. And then the third thing is you have to pick a strategy that actually tells you when to enter and exactly when to exit. You can't have any ambiguity. So if your trading strategy involves the phrase, "it looks like it might go this way," that's not a real strategy. It's actually guessing. A real strategy has very clear rules. This has to happen, and then this, and then this. And then if all 3 of these things are true, then you enter. And if any one of them isn't there, you literally just do not enter, period. So let me give you a practical starting point here. The type of strategy that I trade every single day is a trend continuation setup. So I identify trend on a higher time frame, right? Something like my 1 hour or my daily or my 4 hour to find out what overall trend looks like at this point. So as you can see here in this area, we are seeing trend flip to upside, right? We can see that we have clear upside trend here. Clear higher highs being made and clear higher lows being made over and over again. So for this, we already know that we are in an upside potential trend. From there, I would drop to a lower time frame and I'd start to look for my entry at a level of some sort. Now, because this is a price action system, what I'm looking for is a break over this level. Because we know that the trend is already completely bullish, right? We want to enter to the upside. So what I'm waiting for is a retest of this key level and then a continuation over highs. So what this would look like here, for example, is going to be right here. We end up seeing this push over and a retest here to retest this level. So if we're able to come up and break highs from that point, that is my entry point. Now here's something that most people get wrong, right? They like to wait until the close of the candle to be able to enter positions. I don't do that. I actually enter literally as soon as I see a break of those highs. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, but it could just close red on you. Well, think about it this way. My risk to reward is significantly better than most people's, okay? This is the reason why this strategy works so well, is because if you waited for a candle to close above a high, your entry would be all the way over here. And for me, I'm entering when we get the break of that high. So yes, I'm risking a little bit more than someone who's entering on the close, but think about it. All of this is extra potential loss if you entered all the way up here. It makes absolutely no sense. And that's it. I look for the exact same thing every single day on the same stocks. SPY, QQQ, it's basically it. Sometimes Tesla or Nvidia, but honestly, the setup is identical. It is the exact same every single day. Whether those are gonna be fib levels, whether it's gonna be key levels from the SOA key level system, or it's gonna be, VWAP, EMA, whatever it is, I am trading with the trend, I'm trading price action, and I'm just trading simple break, retest of the levels, and continuations. It's the same trend continuation strategy over and over again. And here's the key. If the setup isn't there, I am not gonna trade. So my student Edric literally makes over $1,000 a day trading for under 30 minutes using this exact same setup. He looks for it, he executes, and then he's done. And honestly, if it's not there, he just turns his phone off or closes his laptop. And that's the thing, the discipline that he has there is the edge. So instead of doing all of the garbage that people do, all of the ridiculously overcomplicated trading strategies, what I want you to do is go to TradingView, just add 2 simple indicators. I want you to add add volume weighted average price. Click that and add it to your chart, and then add the 9 EMA to your chart as well. So you're gonna go to indicators again, type in EMA, and add the moving average exponential. These are the only 2 indicators that I actually use, and I set the EMA to yellow, so that way they can be different colors. Now, the VWAP, it does have a custom actual indicator setup, so what I do is I go over here, and I turn off upper band 1, lower band 1, and bands fill 1. So that leaves me with just the VWAP line. Now, what I want you to do is after you finish watching this video, find out how price actually reacts to these 2 levels, because what you're gonna notice is if you see price reacting to VWAP and EMA, and then you just use the trend continuation system that we talked about, it is absolutely money. Take a look at this, right? We already know higher time frame is bullish. So what we're looking for is simple trend continuations off of just VWAP and EMA. You don't even need the other levels that we talk about inside of SOA, inside of the mastermind, but those levels are even more powerful. But anyways, all you need to know is an understanding of exactly how trend works. Take a look at all of this chop here. We know that if we break out of this range, we should see some sort of move to the downside. And so we end up seeing a break, a retest of that range, and then a continuation. And guess what we do? We enter short below that candle, stop losses go over the previous candle high, and take a look. You can literally repeat this system over and over again within trend, and it's the same thing every single day. It's super simple. So I want you to do that. It's gonna be your homework. I want you to do it after this video. But here's where it can get tricky, because most traders, even if they have a perfect strategy, they're still gonna blow up. And the reason why this happens is the one thing that nobody wants to talk about. If I'm starting over in 2026, I'm not focusing on making money, right? I know that that sounds insane in a video that is literally about getting to 6 figures as fast as I possibly can, but hear me out. When you focus on money, every single trade that you take, it becomes emotional, right? You start staring at your P&L and you're like, come on, right? And you start to take profits too early because you're scared of losing. And so you'll end up holding losers too long because you can't accept the hit. And then you end up revenge trading because you need to make it back. It sounds familiar, right? It happens to literally all kinds of traders. And the reason why is because all of that is results focused thinking. It's gonna destroy you, I promise. Instead, you have to focus on one question after every single trade, and that is, did I follow my rules? That's the only question that actually matters. You gotta think of it like basketball, for example. Like, for example, if LeBron James is on the free throw line and he's sitting there thinking, I have to make this shot. No matter what happens, this shot needs to be made. Well, yeah, he's gonna tense up. His body's not gonna be able to, perform in that flow state. But if you focus on your form, right, you get your elbow in, you follow through literally the things that you're supposed to do with basketball, then the shot goes in naturally. Trading is the exact same. You have to focus on the process and the results will take care of themselves. Now, here's how you actually do this every single day, right? You have to journal. Every single trade that you take needs to be journaled. And it's not scribbling, right? Oh, I lost $200 today. You're not just gonna write that in a notebook, right? You need to actually have a real journal where you track every single setup that you take, whether it actually met your entry criteria, where your stop was, where your target was. These are all things that are important. And honestly, the biggest one is how you felt during that trade. So here's what I do personally. And actually, this is what I have every single one of my students do as well. After the trading day is over, I review every single trade that I take live. I go through exactly what happened, where my entry was, where my stop was. Did I follow my rules? If yes, that's awesome. Even if it was a loss, literally, if I lose, it's still a win. If no, then that's where the problem is, right? We have to fix that. When I was deep in my biggest losing streak, I was down $37,000 overall as a trader. The thing that turned it around, it wasn't a new indicator, right? It wasn't following some garbage signals. It was journaling every single trade and tracking my routine, my emotional state, my entry criteria, literally even my heart rate, bro. Like, I tracked everything. And this is literally what I found. On the days where I followed my rules, I was profitable. On the days where I didn't, I lost. It's literally that simple. For journaling tools, the number one that I would recommend is going to be TradeZella. I want a sponsorship from TradeZella so bad because it is literally the best journaling platform that exists. You can log your trades. It actually pulls your data automatically and you can see your patterns over time. Now, if you're trading multiple accounts at the same time, right, there's another platform that's called TradeSyncer. that's going to copy your trades across all of your accounts, but it also has a journaling software built in. Those are the best two journaling platforms that I would recommend, in my opinion. I want you to stop measuring your trades by dollars, right? You need to start measuring it by rule adherence. So track your trades, like actually have a rule score for the day. Did you take only A+ setups? Did you honor your stop? Did you respect your daily max? If you can string together 10 or even like 20 days of clean execution, the money will follow, I promise. Now, trade execution is king, but even the best execution in the world still won't save you if you skip this next step. And this one is the one that separates traders who survive from traders who end up actually blowing up. If I'm starting over, risk management isn't something that I'm just gonna get to eventually, right? It's the very first thing that I would master. It's before strategy, it's before chart reading, like before anything, I'm mastering trade risk management. And here's why. You can have a 90% win rate and still blow up if you size one trade wrong. I've actually lived it. I've had a 45-day win streak over and over again, over $1,000 a day for 45 days consecutive, right? And then I got cocky. I overreached trying to hit $100,000 in a month as a trader. I oversized a few trades. I tilted and lost 20 to 30K of that $40,000 that I made in a matter of days. 45 wins in a row, and it did not matter because I ended up breaking my risk rules. So let me give you the exact risk framework that I'd set up on day one, and honestly, I'm just gonna give you real numbers so that way it's a lot easier. So the first thing is I would never risk more than 5% of my account drawdown on a single trade. So if you have a $50,000 funded account, for example, that means that my max loss per trade is gonna be $100 or less. I'm not gonna risk $1,000 on that account. I'm not gonna risk whatever feels good, right? It has to be a fixed number that you decide before the market even opens. The second thing is you need to set a max daily loss and actually enforce it. So for me, on a $50,000 funded account, right, my absolute max pain for that day would be $200 in the very beginning of the actual funded stage. That would be 10% of my account's drawdown. And so if I hit that number, I would be done, right? The charts would be closed. I'm going outside. I'm literally not like even looking at my computer anymore. I don't want to I'm not going to be like, oh, let me just take one more trade to make it back, right? That's how you end up blowing your accounts. So in the beginning stage, if I had to restart and try to like ramp up as fast as I possibly could, I would risk really light. I would risk $100 per trade and I would have a $200 max daily loss every single day. Doesn't that seem like it would make trading so much easier for you? And then once you can start to build that up over time, that's how you can start to scale aggressively. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, here's how you actually are going to set this up so it's not just a mental note that you ignore. If you're trading through a prop firm like, let's say, Take Profit Trader, for example, like I told you earlier, the platform literally has a drawdown limit. It has a daily drawdown limit. You can click the setting that will stop you out so that it physically will literally stop you from trading. I would do that because I want to remove the option to self-destruct, right? Now, if you're trading options through Webull, for example, you can write your max loss on a sticky note and put it on your monitor. It sounds so stupid, but it works. I literally tell students all the time, put a sticky note on your forehead and just keep it there. The third thing I would do in terms of risk management would be max 3 trades per day. That's it. If I take 1 to 3 trades every single day, and if I take 3 trades and I'm red, then I'm done. If I've taken 2 and I'm green, I'm probably done. Most of my money that I make is actually on trade 1 or 2, right? So trades 4, 5, 6, 7, those are where people are revenge trading and giving literally everything back. The fourth risk management rule is 2 consecutive losses and you're done for the day, right? This is my personal like shut it down rule. If I take 2 losses back to back, I actually close everything. And the reason why is after 2 losses, your emotions, they start creeping in, right? You have that little voice in your head that starts saying, I need to make it back, right? I gotta make this back. That voice that has, that's telling you this, it's gonna bankrupt you. And the 5th risk management rule is your stop loss is going to be structure based, not a random number. I do not set my stop loss at, $200 loss or 30%. I set it at a price level on the chart where the trade that I'm taking is actually invalidated. So if I'm entering off of a key level, for example, like I showed you right now, this stop loss is not going to be based on, okay, I'll just put a stop right here, just because I feel like it. No, this trade has to be invalidated for me to actually have a stop loss placed. So a lot of you guys probably get stopped out early because you keep putting stop losses based on dollar amounts. For example, let's say that you have a stop loss that is, 12 points. Well, this could get stopped out for absolutely no reason. For me, I'm setting stop loss above structure, right? So you can see structure is here, and I want to have my stop loss above that structure. Even though it's a larger stop, I want to make sure that it is in the right spot, because that way you're not going to get screwed over. The thing is, the chart tells me where my stop loss should go, not my feelings. And when you set that stop loss, you are never going to start moving it like this. Do not move your stop loss up over time. This is how I've lost literally thousands and thousands of dollars in one day. So before you ever place a trade, you should know 3 numbers: your max loss per trade, your max loss per day, and your max number of trades. You need to write these down and actually configure them in your platform if you have to, and you need to treat them like religion. All right, so we have covered the vehicle, right? We covered the strategy, the mindset, and the protection, but there's one more thing that would make things a lot faster for me than literally everything combined. And it's the thing that I wish that I'd done on day 1 as a day trader. If I'm starting over in 2026 as a day trader, the first investment that I'm making is not into a trading account. It's into somebody who's already where I want to be. And trust me, I spent the first 2 years of my trading losing $40,000 trying to figure it out on my own, right? I had YouTube videos, free Discords, Reddit threads, all kinds of indicators. I consumed literally everything, and I went backwards. You know why? Because information without actually having the direction behind it, it's just noise. All these people trying to tell you different strategies, all these people are trying to convince you to use their strategy. It's just noise. And if you think about it like this, if you wanted to become a doctor, right, you're not just gonna watch surgery videos on YouTube and then walk into an operating room. You'd have to have somebody over your shoulder saying, no, you shouldn't put this here, you shouldn't put this here, right? Like that feedback loop that you have, that's literally everything. So when I first invested into my education, I spent over $15,000 in a year, and I did that over 3 different programs. And so that's when everything changed for me, right? Like within months, I finally had my first profitable month. Then I had $5,000 months, then $10,000 months, and then eventually my first $50,000 month. But here's the thing, not all mentorship is created equal. So I want to give you a filter. That way you don't end up going and wasting your money on all these different mentorship groups that just don't work. When you are looking for a mentorship or like a mentorship program, right? You need to look for 3 things. 1, do they actually... So when you're looking for a trading mentor or a trading mentorship program, you need to look for 3 things. 1, do they actually trade live in front of people, and do they show their results? Not screenshots of the results, not Lamborghini photos, right? Like actual documented trades with entries, exits, and the P&L on their screen. If they are hiding their execution, it's not really a good sign. 2, is there real one-on-one feedback, right? Or are you just getting dumped into like a 10,000 person Discord with a 300 video course, and then you're just called a student, right? That's not mentorship. And 3, can they show you students who started from nothing and get actual results, right? Like not one testimonial. You need to have a track record of people that they've actually developed and helped over time. And this is why I actually built Simply Options Academy the way I did, right? Like I saw how broken most trading programs were, so I built the opposite. Inside SOA, I personally work with every single student. I review your trades through a proprietary trading journal that I actually built for this program. I can see your entries, I can see your exits, your emotional patterns, your rule adherence, literally all of the things that we talked about from this video. I can see your trades from a data standpoint, and then I use that data to actually coach you. So it's not just like this generic advice. It's gonna be, hey, I can see that you're breaking this rule every single Tuesday morning, and here's exactly how you can fix it. So if this is something that you're actually interested in, there's a link in the description where you can actually watch a full breakdown of how the system works and how you can apply. We don't take everyone because obviously it is limited. I physically can't coach 10,000 people, but if you're serious, go check it out. That's it. That's the whole game. It's not complicated, right? The people who make it in trading aren't just they're not smarter than you. They just have a system and the discipline to follow that system. If this video gave you some clarity or some really good nuggets, drop a comment down below and tell me where you're at in your trading journey. I read every single comment. So if you want to see a full breakdown of the system that I teach inside of SOA and how it's changed hundreds of traders, click the link in the description. I will see you guys all in the next one. Adios, everybody. Goodbye.